Contact. All right, everybody, welcome to the listing agent. All right. My goal today is to show you how to become either the #1 realtor in your area or the dominant one. You guys get to choose. But I'm gonna tell you a little bit about myself. That's my wife, Patty. We've been together for over 38 years. We have 6 adult children. 3 are mine, and the other 3, Ingrid would be one of them. And I have a couple other ones that I've known them since they were 14 years old. And somehow we work together. We have a successful real estate business, but we haven't killed each other yet. That's on a good note, okay? But you're going to ask yourself, why should you listen to me? Well, let's show you. You don't have to, but I would encourage you. If you go to Google, anytime you talk to a realtor, a trainer, or a sales company who says that they have the product that works, you type in the realtor's first name and last name, and then the word Zillow behind it. Zillow is now a brokerage. All right. So when you tell someone I'm the #1 realtor in the world, they can literally look you up by just typing this. So when you click on the link for Zillow, it'll take you straight to my inventory. Okay. I got 26 properties. Okay. Now, at the same time, if you look at the bottom, the average in the last, since I've had this account open, you see there 2,685 sales. When you divide that between how old this account is, which is 10 years old, you can see it right here. I'm averaging over 250 properties sold every given year. Okay. But if you want to know a little bit further and we confirm my numbers, we'll go straight to the MLS, right? And you go over to cross properties right here, search. We all have a different system, but this is ours. So if I go to cross properties and I do this here, and I ask the system, I want to confirm my numbers or any other agent's numbers. Here's what you do. Okay, I'll do this real quick here. And then my ID number is PANGLPAT. The name comes up. There it is, Angel Hernandez. Hit the results. You'll see that these properties are actually mine. I'll do the thumbnail so you can see them. Thumbnail. Here we go. You can see that all the properties have my name on them. Okay, there's 20. All right. Well, now that we've done that part, I'll go straight over here to show you the rest. Now, I got to tell you, even though we're doing this, I got to be honest with you, it hasn't always been like this. Okay. I started in 1980, the first market shit, but I was living with my mom and dad. Life was good, making some money, no expenses. Okay. But the 1990 hit, my world changed. I had 2 sons, they were babies, my wife and I, and we were suffering. Economically, I wasn't ready for it. And it hurts me that I would literally have to borrow money from my mom and my dad, pay my bills, sell something, pay them back. I did this for 2 years. I went to a seminar, and this is where I got the vision. When they delivered what needed to be done, they put it on. Back then, they had a different system. So I had to take a camera, write notes really fast. But that is where things changed for me. So it wasn't always easy. Fast forward today, okay, here I am. Now I can help over 250 people, families every single year. And I average over 20 listings every single month, okay? To put it to you in a different way, I'll describe it this way. Let's say we were all together and we want to go from here to Europe in a sailboat. But I really want to go with someone who's been through multiple storms, because if I go with someone who's brand new and something goes wrong, I don't want to drown. I want to live. So in this particular case, I've been through the 80 storm, the 1990 storm, the 2000 to 2007. So I've learned to maneuver and pivot and learn how to do well in every single market. Okay. So what I do works. So I want to take a moment and I'll come off camera here real quick. You guys can see me. I want you to really take a moment and take this in. Okay, hold on. Stop share. Okay. If you can see me, I don't know, am I at full screen, Ingrid, or partial screen?
It really depends on the view that they have.
All right. I'm just going to tell you for the moment, pay attention, because this is just going to add value to your life, your business, your family, whatever it is. So absorb it, okay? I'll get close to the camera. I want you guys to see me. I'm serious. I really want to help, because that person helped me when I went and I listened to them. So let's go back to the sharing of the screen, okay? And let's go here. So let's do this real quick. Let me do the adjustment, okay? if you have, I'm going to show you exactly how we're getting all our listings. I'm not going to hide it. And if you have any questions or obstacles, put it in the chat box. My goal here today is to help you, and I'm going to try to address every single question you're going to have for me, okay? But here's how it starts. The big problem today is that realtors are not seen. How many times have your friends, your family, referred someone who needed to sell to someone else because they forgot about you? Okay, it happens. And this is what happens to a lot of realtors in our community. They don't get seen. People forget about them and they call another realtor. They call the one that gets seen over and over, okay? So I'll give you an example. A friend of mine, local realtor, calls me and says they were doing well, but when there was a shift, their business slowed down. Calls me and says, hey, Angel, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. What can you tell me? Well, I gave him a simple solution. I said, what are you doing? He showed me his open house sign and I didn't like it. And I told him what was wrong with him. I told him what adjustments to do to it. And bam, his business picked up immediately and he became a dominant realtor. And now he's one of my competitors. Good for him. That's the whole goal. I helped him. Okay. So I'll give you an example. We'll say Dennis and Samantha, okay, clients. All right. The first thing that happens is that through this marketing and branding, for years, they're driving around and they see the sign, Angel and Patty, Angel and Patty. And, for years, eventually these people they're getting a divorce and they're fighting with each other. They can't be with each other anymore. And they have a realtor friend that is a realtor, but they forget about him. All they remembered was when they were fighting and now it's time to sell, they remembered the brand Angel and Patty because they saw it over and over. So what do? They go to Google, right? They Google us. Now, when they Google all of us, we have to have a good landing page, all right? We need to, because if we don't have one, what's the point of seeing you? They Google you and they can't find you. So Samantha, what she does is she goes to one of our pages, and she types in, Angel and Patty. It comes up. At that moment, we have a system that captured them, all right? So what happens next is that the team makes a phone call. They have a conversation, and they know the scripts. I hate this word, but they know what to say already because I showed them. And what happens is that my team gets on net, my computer maybe zooms them and shows them some quick numbers on what I call my net sheet. At that moment, they book an appointment. 3, what happens next is that now they set the appointment. Now, when I go meet Dennis and Samantha, okay, one of them is always going to be standoffish, and there's always a different situation. In this case, we'll just say Dennis is kind of standoffish. They show me the house. I'm walking around. We sit down at the table. This is important. I hope you guys are paying attention carefully. And he's giving her looks. But when we start showing him the numbers, this is all they want to know. What's the numbers? So as I'm going through the process, they lean to my computer. You're seeing me too close. I hope you can't see my forehead too well, but they're looking closely at the computer at the numbers because this is what they want to know. At this point, by the way, that's what they want, numbers. The moment I give them the numbers, now I have 90% of their attention. Now I go into the fourth part, which is the listing presentation. And during the listing presentation, I've set it up where it answers all their questions before they're even going to ask them. The whole point of this, okay, the whole point of this is you need to brand your name, okay, as much as possible. You need to brand your name, and then the other steps that I showed you will follow, okay? Now, if you don't have a listing, you borrow one. I want them to be able to see your name, okay? So let's take it to the next part, open houses. And I know what you're thinking. You're saying, oh, I got it covered. I do open houses, but I'll break it to you this way. There are people who can make a really good cake. That cake is so delicious, right? That when you put the fork in it, your mouth is already watering because you can smell the aroma of the cake. And when you taste it, it tastes so good, you can hardly wait to get another spoonful of cake. Then there's other people who make a cake and it just doesn't taste the same, okay? In this particular case, I know how to make good cakes, and I'm going to share with you how we make those cakes so you in turn can have the same ability. You're going to way too many times I've seen realtors get a listing and they do nothing with it. That is insane, okay? You need to take that listing and expose your name so people can see it, okay? Example, Dennis and Samantha. For years, they saw my signs over and over. And this is what happens to the majority of the city. Year after year, they see my name, okay? And this is what you need to do. They need to see your name over and over so you get leads, then you get clients, then you get listings, then you start making really good cakes, okay? Now, dilemma. They seen your signs, they went, they Googled you, they found you, yes, you got them, okay? But this is where it fails. Now they go to your website, but there's nothing there. Or they go wherever they find you, there's nothing there for them to call you, okay? Or a capturing system. And that's where you need a landing page, okay? Because you've done all this work to get them to call you or to Google you, but there's nothing there for them to get their attention, all right? So I'll give you an example. A landing page gives an offer. Here it is there. Then they type in their information, and better yet, let me give you a scenario. I'm going to type in here, you would put your offer here. Now, my landing page is set up to have 3 systems: irresistible, 1 to capture, 2 offer, 3 offer. So if I type in my address here, by the way, this is where I was raised when I was in the 4th grade. Here. There it is. Offer number 1. At this point, I'm asking for their email. When they do it, next page will ask them for their name and phone number, and it gives them another offer. But more importantly, this is a landing page that's doing its job. It's capturing them. The moment they type in that address right there, it sends it to us. We have it, okay? At this point, they may not follow through, or they may follow through. Regardless, I have them. But there's one more thing, you got to give an offer. Even though they're here, if your offer's not good enough, you're not going to get them. You need to become a master of making offers. I'll give you an example. A friend of mine, Eddie, okay? Same thing. Once we come about with, we're my community of people, they call me, and I'm more than happy to help them. So Eddie calls me and says, Angel, I've been crushing it, and when the market shifted, things slowed down for him. And I said, show me what you're doing. And I saw his offers. The market had changed, and the offer that he was giving no longer applied at the market that we were in. So when I told him how to tweak it, his phone started to ring again. One of our past offers was the flat fee. We're not discount brokers, okay? The goal of an irresistible offer, remember, they went to your page. The goal of an irresistible offer is for them to call you. It's to make your phone ring so you can have a conversation with the seller. All you want is that opportunity to talk to the seller. I'll say it one more time. All you want is the opportunity to talk to a seller. And you have to become a master of offering irresistible offers, okay? Ours, we change every 3 months. So I'll give you an example, a flat fee. Down at the bottom, it gives a disclaimer. Samantha calls and she says, Angel, what's a flat fee? That was the whole point. Now I go into having a conversation on how it works, and then I talk about other things. In the end, they will pay you your full 7%, your 6%, your 5%, because what you're bringing them is value because they gave you the opportunity to meet with them. So a good irresistible offer will help you build your database with lots and lots of sellers. And FYI, by the way, once you start getting a lot of listings, you don't have to work the weekends because your listings work for you, okay? And you want to add anything, Ingrid?
No, I definitely think you covered most of it. The flat fee and the irresistible offer, you guys do not get caught up on, I don't want to do a flat fee, I don't want to do this or that. Literally, the whole point of the irresistible offer, it's an illusion just to make them call you. The goal is to make them call you. It's not for us to be, you know, following up and following up and following up. Once they call you, they're automatically giving you permission to follow up with them. So the goal again is just any irresistible offer that you do, whether it's flat fee or if you come up with something else, the whole goal is just to make them call you.
I love when that phone rings. Ring, ring, hello. It's such a great feeling when it rings over and over. And I want you to have that feeling. You know, think about it. You're sitting there, phone rings, you pick it up, or you're texting, right? Hi, I'm interested in selling my home. That's a great feeling that you should be feeling, you know, over and over and over. But here's what happens next. So you listed one and you got 25 leads out of all this, okay? And unfortunately, you end up making a phone call. Hey, I'm following up. Did you still want to blah, 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 blah? They say, oh, we already listed. Oh my God, you screwed up. You worked so hard to get to that point. So you need a CRM, is my whole point. You need to have a CRM. Way long time ago, I remember calling a client and I followed up and they said, we already sold it. Oh my God, never again will that happen to me. So, you know, we've looked into many CRMs, so we finally created one. Ours allows my phone, when we do an outgoing call, it records, an incoming call, it records, so I don't forget what that call was about. It allows me to text. And in my world, you know, a lot of our clients are over 65. That's where a lot of the money is because they own a lot of the real estate. They still want paper. So I have to send them a letter. So our system allows us to send letters to the consumer, okay? So you need to have a really good CRM. Now let's go to this. This is what you guys want to know. How do we get our listings? Get ready for the secret sauce, take a picture, do whatever you need to do, but let's get started, okay? How many times have we spent thousands of dollars, okay, and we get no money back? You know, it happens to everybody, including us. We still look for companies that tell us and promise us the world, and they don't deliver. I'll give you a good example. One of my new agents, Jenemy, only a couple months in the business, right? Gets a call from a vendor and promises her the world, but she already knows. She says to the vendor, well, okay, who's your best person that you have out there? Best realtor. We'll go with the name John Smith. She says, okay, give me a moment. She gets on her computer, types in John Smith, and puts Zillow behind it. Zillow is now a brokerage, so they track all of you, including me. That's why at the beginning I showed you our numbers. Well, she says, John Smith, best client, huh? He's only sold 2 properties in the last 2 years. That vendor starts to backpedal. What are you looking at? Looking at Zillow. So what happens next is she says, give me another. He doesn't have any call-ins, okay? Well, let me show you how we get our free leads and our paid leads, okay? And this is all by, you know, one of the simple ways is by using a open house. So here we go. So our free lead sources, okay? Well, remember the branding, Samantha Sauce, right? Then they went to Google and they found my page, and you can get these pages for free, right? What happens next is we follow up, my team follows up to make a phone call, and they know the scripts. I hate that word, I'll say it again, but it's the same conversation that we have over and over, and I call it a script. And then they maybe do a quick Zoom, run some quick numbers with our net sheet, then they book my appointment, I show up, I meet, show the net sheet, and I get the listing, okay? Now here's the important part. This one property gives me between 4 and 7 leads. This one property done right. So then we go into where my team goes in and they door knock, and they will leave what I call an irresistible offer. And we usually give 1 to 3 offers on either a door hanger, the ring, because remember, nobody's home now, or they are, but they don't want to see you. But the ring is a new answering machine like back in the day. We get multiple leads, we end up listing one, the process repeats itself, okay? Now, let me show you. By the way, do you want to add anything to that, Ingrid?
I think being consistent with the process is key. We do this
I like that.
every single listing. So right now we have 20 active listings, and we have somewhere between 20 to 27 active listings at a time. Every single listing goes through the exact same procedure. So if you're like, oh man, I can't wait to get 4 to 7 seller leads. And the key is they're leads. They're not necessarily ready to put their house on the market today. So don't expect it to generate 4 to 7 listings. It's generating 4 to 7 leads. And that's the goal. So if we have, let's say 20 properties that are active, we follow the system. Let's say 20 times 5.5 to get an average. That's 100. You can't see it, but that's 110 leads. Out of those 110 leads, if we can convert, let's say 10%, you're looking at 11 listings. So that's really how we're able to keep that momentum going. It's the consistency of each listing going through the same exact procedure and us being able to generate an average of 4 to 7 leads for one listing. That's about 100. I would say on average, it's about 80 to about 120 a month, depending on how many active listings we have.
A lot of leads. That's a lot of leads. Let's go to the paid ones, guys. Okay, paid ones. It's the same process. The only difference is now I spend a little bit more money on branding. I can spend between $100 to $500 branding. Okay, you know, Google ads, whatever it takes. The
Really
landing
quick.
pages. Yeah.
Sorry. And the only reason we're able to do the paid leads is because we're so consistent with the free leads that allows us to create enough revenue to do the paid leads. So that didn't come overnight. That didn't happen overnight. Literally being consistent with the free leads generates the revenue to be able to do the paid leads.
It's the secret sauce. This is the secret sauce. The landing pages, everybody. You know, I took it. They're the free ones, but I pay a company to utilize their landing pages, and they vary. We always change them. We always look for the best ones, but they're valuable to me because I'm always looking for something that allows me to modify and adjust those landing pages. And then there are appointments. Sometimes we offer, you know, different stuff just to get their attention, and I'll show you in a moment. And the process starts all over. The only difference is that when you go to this screen here, okay, we're door knocking, but we're also mailing, and the mailers are awesome, amazing, irresistible offers. I just had my morning class right now at 9 o'clock, and we went over mailers, how magical they are, and how we get so many leads. You see there, between 7 to 15 on one property, mailing around the process, and it repeats itself. And like Ingrid said a moment ago, this is how it just keeps coming in volume. Now let's break it down for you guys, okay? Let's get a little bit more detailed. You know, remember I talked about Dennis and Samantha, they saw our leads. All right, well, this is what happens. By the way, in the yellow, you can see we change our offers every 2 months, depending on where we are with this market. Because this market goes up, it goes down. It's a crazy world, but you either have to see the glass half full or half empty. It's up to you. But Google presence, critical, okay? You know, I tell all my team, you need to make sure when you go to Google, people are going to find you. Zillow, you don't have to pay them, but you have a profile. Yelp, Realtor.com, all of these, you don't have to pay them, but you have a profile, and you got to make sure when you Google anything that says realtors in whatever city you're in, you need to make sure you're in every single portal to make sure that you are found. And that's another class, but it's critical. This is where we get picked up so many times, and it doesn't cost me anything. Even if you sign up for a referral company and you put your information and they send you the lead and you got to pay them a referral fee, who cares? The whole goal is to be seen, to build your pipeline of sellers, the past clients. There's a lot of money in there. We make, you know, I make 10% of my income from our past clients because it's free and they sent me business. The doors are free to you. All you got to do is, you know, when you go have a conversation and you knock on the door, you got to hit 100 around your listing. You don't need too many, okay? And then you see the open houses, critical, free, branding, your name on lights, everybody's going to see, okay? And then social media. Social media has a lot. We do a lot with social media. Okay, let's go to our paid lead services. Same concept. The only thing is that I really 10x our open houses. You know, it's a lot of money there, but I don't, on my side, my team, I don't want them putting up their signs. I want them prospecting around my listing for themselves. So we have drivers, vans. You don't need to go this far. I'm just sharing with you what we do. But I did highlight the ones that you should be addressing, which is the Google and the mail-outs. Okay. I don't pay companies anymore because they rob me and they steal my money and they give me no leads. Like I mentioned, there are companies out there that they charge you 300 and they give you a lot of what they call leads, but they're bogus. It's just, they put their whatever it is just to make it an illusion like you're getting leads. But in the end, they don't, very few convert. We give only Zillow minimal dollars. It's not a lot. People think that we're flex agents. We are not flex agents. We give them only 1,000, and I got to correct that. I think it's 1166 now. They went up $100. Okay. And then you see the mail out, it costs me $1.04. That's not a lot, $1.04. Okay. To mail out 100 letters, everything included. Okay. And of course, you see the social media. We run a lot of ads to generate a lot of clients. Okay. All right. So here we are now. Okay. People saw my signs everywhere, right? People now Googled us. They went to the landing page. We booked the appointment, and now we're in front of a client.
And this is how we close them. I know earlier in the chat box, somebody was saying how, you know, once you're at their house, how do you close them? This is our magic tool on how we lock those listings in. Everybody's talking about, you know, how short the inventory is, but look at our listings. We have enough listings to help a lot of buyers, and that is the goal. So this is our magic tool to lock them in.
Magic, you know, we should have done like those little sparkles, right? So they can see what we're really talking about. Can we do that, Ingrid? All right. So, and this is what we mean. Okay. If you go buy a car, right, all you want to know is what your payment is, but they go through all this BS stuff, right? You just want to know the payment. Same with the sellers. They just want to know their numbers. Okay. So Dennis and Samantha, they seen my signs, like I mentioned, they went to the page, you know, they liked the offer that they saw, which they got captured. We scheduled the appointment. And like Ingrid said, the net sheet for me handles every difficult situation and objection. And as the market shifts, we change it. And here, let me give you a demonstration. Give me a second here. All right. So let me give you an idea. So I meet with the client, and, you know, Dennis was a little standoffish, and, you know, let's just say that his idea and his goal thought that the house would sell for $1 million, right? And, you know, hers was commission. So we'll adjust that to 2%. You see all the numbers are changing. And then somewhere along the line, you know, Samantha says, well, we owe $375. I'll just put it on there. Okay. It's all in there now. Okay. And then I asked them, because remember, they're getting a divorce. I ask, are you guys splitting the money? They say yes. So down here, I type in 2, the money now gets divided. Okay. Now, this is what they wanted to know. Now we go into pricing, right? And this is the big issue where a lot of agents lose a client. When we go into pricing, I have a tab that I call pricing it right. So he says he wanted $1 million. So it's right here. It's $1 million. And back in the day when he was told this, the interest rates were at about 3.25, sometime, you know, at the beginning of last year. So the client's payment would be $51.47. He says, yeah. And I said, well, today if somebody paid you $850, with today's rates, the payment's going to be about $58.85. Both of them go, oh my God, how can people afford that? And that's my whole point. This is where I and you have to deliver the information that they want. And then while I'm there, I show them, if one of them wanted to buy a property, I show them what their payment would be. I qualify them because I don't want to lose them to a lender. The moment they call their lender that they know, he knows you're a realtor and you don't want to lose them. And I cover over homeowners exemption. Point being is that the net sheet allowed me to price the property right. That allowed me to show them what they're going to walk away with. And I'm allowed once they see this, honestly, they pay me my 6%. And it depends how you deliver. So how I teach my new agents is how to deliver to make sure we get that client. Ingrid, do you want to add anything?
No, I think that, if we put ourselves in the seller's shoes, at the end of the day, this is all we want to know, right? Like he said, when you go buy a car and they're trying to upsell you with all of these things and fancy stuff, you're like, yeah, but how much is going to be my monthly payment? Okay. How much is my monthly payment? And it's almost like begging them to get a monthly payment, or how much am I going to make at the end of the day? And being so transparent with the client also builds the trust. So they're like, well, nobody showed me all of these numbers. Nobody showed me their escrow fees or how much title was going to cost me. All they told me was this is about more or less what you're going to end up with. And sure, maybe, at 800, they're like, you're going to end up with all of it. But the reality is that's not true. And so clients want to know the truth. They want to know the real numbers and the real proceeds and how much they're actually going to pay in fees, all of it, not some of it, all of it. And so I think that being able to be transparent with the client builds a solid foundation for the future. And that's why, honestly, we also have so many repeating clients and so many clients who are now referring their grandkids to purchase houses with us too. So this net sheet really wins them over.
Every single time. This does 90% of my job. And let me back up. You work so hard to get their attention. Go to your page, Google you, make the call, you meet with them. Don't blow it. You need to deliver, just like Ingrid said, what they want to see. Okay, now comes this part, the listing presentation. And I've been doing this for 30 years, and I love what I do, okay? And at the end of the day, they just want to see the numbers. After they've seen the numbers, when I do the presentation, because I've been through the 4 shifts, I know what they're going to ask me almost every single time, okay? So you can almost say I see the future. That's not true, but they think, how did you know? So with my listing presentation, I'm able to answer all their questions. And this does the balance of what I need. And here, let me just give you a quick demonstration. So this is my actual net sheet. I'm sorry, not net sheet. This is my listing presentation, okay? And with it, I'll use the word scripts again. I already know what they're going to ask me. So I'm answering their questions before they're asking them. Cleaning the house, escrow fees, the marketing, the social media. I've already have added it to my slideshow. Now, when I lose a listing, because it happens, for whatever reason, they had a family member that they preferred, they liked better. When that happens, I ask them why they picked someone else. I add it to my slideshow, okay? Because it ain't going to happen again. I want to make sure they pick Uncle Sam because whatever the reason, I'll make sure that next time we don't lose that listing, okay? All right, so let's recap here, okay? I remember at the beginning, I let you know that, I had heard this speaker and I took a picture. Well, I didn't want you guys to write all the notes, so I simplified it for you. I'm showing you all the tools that I've utilized, right? And this allows me to actually get between 600 to 700 seller leads every single year, okay? Leads, all right? I go on 200 listing appointments every single year consistently. That's only 5 per week. So truthfully, what I'm showing here is the secret sauce, right? But at this point, does anybody, let's take a moment. Let's answer everybody's questions.
Yes, we have a handful. So let me go ahead and get started with them. I know we had a question from Maria regarding Zillow. Do you suggest we update our sales on Zillow? So Zillow pulls your sales directly from the MLS. Since they became a brokerage, that was kind of, I guess, part of their contract across the country with MLSs. So they are connected to your MLS. So all of your sales on there are your sales. If for some reason you don't see one of your sales on there, go ahead and contact their support team and they'll be able to help you with that. For some reason, there's sometimes a glitch in their system For that, then the question regarding, we have another question from somebody else regarding reviews on Zillow. Is it a good plan to get reviews on Zillow? 100%. I had heard that they are accessing our clients' information and selling to other agents. Honestly, your client's information is accessible regardless. Any title company can access it. Anybody who's looking at, your sales, and then they go to the tax record and they see the seller's or the owner's name, can Google who they are and find their number. All of our information is accessible anywhere you go.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be too worried about that. What you want to worry and focus on, getting those reviews shows that you are a real person, you are a real agent, you are an active agent, because there's a lot of people in the industry who have 0 reviews. So if I'm looking at a restaurant and the restaurant has 0 reviews, am I going to go to that restaurant? Probably not. I'm going to second guess it. Why don't they have reviews? Do people hate it? Do they like it? I don't know. So same goes with us as people. They need to make sure, oh, you know what? People had nice things to say about that person. I want to work with them. Or, they were super informative. I want to work with them. The other question, Angel, we have, what's a good flat fee, and can you provide the offer that you're currently providing? Can you give more information regarding the flat fee?
The flat fee, you can design whatever you want for the flat fee. And by the way, to be clear, when I did this, there was a company called Purple Bricks. So in our world, there are going to be multiple shifts. And that was a company that came in that just rocked our world. They came from Europe. So when they were competing in my city, I needed to come up with a system. That's why that's an old ad. They're no longer here. Purple Bricks ran back to where they belong, right? We'll say they ran back to their country, right? But that tool, how they were doing it, I believe was $3,500, right? What we did is they were getting the calls as a flat fee for $3,500. We were getting the call for a flat fee, which ours was, I'll give you an example. If it was a $600,000 sales price, it was 2% of 600, and it was the same percent, that let's say it was $12,000 all the way up to 700. So the point is, whatever you design, you need to make sure you disclose it to the consumer, and you got to post it. You can't hide it. But the whole point here is it's not the flat fee. The whole point is that statement, that picture was to show you, you got to make the phone ring. If you got anything, that's what this is about. You have to have a message to have the phone ring to give you that opportunity to have a conversation with the client. Do we have any other questions?
Yeah. We have a few more. Why does the $100 cash offer work better than a $100 gift card offer?
Once again, it's how you deliver it. Did you hear what you just asked? Read that question again.
Why does the $100 cash offer work better than a $100 gift card offer?
Boom! They're going to call and ask you that question. Now you have the opportunity to have a conversation, and that's what this is all about, guys. Okay, beautiful question. Next.
The goal is always just to open a conversation. Now once you open the conversation, it's your turn to lock them in. And realistically, let's be real. If somebody was like, Ingrid, here's $100, or Ingrid, here's $100 gift card to Starbucks, I would be like, I'll take the cash over the gift card any day. Either way, you want to just open the conversation. The next question, isn't it misleading to say flat fee and then it's not? How do you handle that?
I mentioned that you have to have a disclaimer, okay? So if you're going to go there, we're not recommending you use a flat fee. That's an old ad. But if you're going to go there, you need to have a disclaimer, and you need to call the Department of Real Estate to see what that disclaimer is. Everything we do, we sell so much, everybody's watching us. So you have to have a disclaimer. Okay. So, I have Tuesday classes every Tuesday. You can ask me those questions, and then I get into detail on how to handle that type of that type of situation. If you choose to go with the flat fee, what else do we have?
So we have compliance. We go through all of our disclaimers, go through compliance. So I know we have some people here from Georgia, we have some people here from Texas, we have some people here from Maryland. Whatever city, state you're in, make sure that you're going to your compliance, whether that's national compliance or your board's compliance, because those change too. Make sure you go through them for the disclaimers to get them approved. Are you a lender? No, we are not lenders. We are realtors, but we make sure with that net sheet, and I know why you're asking it, with that net sheet, we make sure to cover it all, and then we'll connect them with the lender if need be. But by the point they're connected with the lender, they know, they have an idea of their numbers. So they're not surprised when the lender tells them, this is how much you qualify for. Like, oh my God, I thought I qualified for $1 million. No, you don't, because we already told them from the very beginning, and that helps us transition them into the lenders.
And to add, Ingrid, remember the reason we added this tab is because a lot of my new agents were losing clients to another realtor, because the client, remember, would say, well, I'm going to call my lender friend. They called the lender friend, then they would hook them up with their lender, their real estate buddy. So I could not let that happen. I needed my agents to be able to pull in that client at that moment if they had any opportunity, any chance of getting that listing. Once they got the listing, they called the buddy who was the lender. It was too late. They couldn't refer that to another realtor because we already had it listed, or my agent had it listed.
Yeah. The other question, what is a good irresistible offer in today's market?
Ha, that's a good one. Wait, read it again.
What is a good irresistible offer in today's market?
Well, we keep changing ours every 3 months. And, at the moment, one of the ones that we offer is $100. We'll pay you $100 just to meet with us at no obligation, with disclaimers, obviously, right? We offer $1,000 sign-up bonuses, right? We offer repairs on a home up to $2,500. Those sound scary, but it makes your phone ring. And again, that's the whole idea here. Have an opportunity to have a conversation with that client. And when you deliver your value services, the client will give you whatever it is that you're asking for. Next one.
Absolutely. And then our very last 3 questions are, could we get a copy of your Excel sheet?
Absolutely. That's what we do. Next one.
Those are our last 3.
I thought you said there was 3.
Yeah, the same question. Can we get a copy of the Excel sheet?
Actually, what we do, guys, is that, for those of you who want to learn more about our system, okay, we actually give you the blueprint of our entire system. And here it is, watch. So, what it is we simplified it for everybody, if you want to duplicate what we do. And this is pretty much it, guys. So, we do offer it, okay, and we package it for you. The actual cost to it is a lot less than these expensive coaches. It's 1 month. These coaches are so expensive. They're what, $1,000 a month. Then they lock in for 3 months. We're way. It's lower than that. Okay. And the system actually allows you and shows you how to brand your open house signs. You got to know how to brand your open house signs, guys. It'll make you so much money. Putting your open house sign, the name on it, Angel and Patty below, gives me a lot of leverage. The net sheet allows me to give the client what they want to hear on the spot, and then the free and paid leads, this system, I'm telling you right now, you're going to make an extra. You have already, what month are we in? March, right? So you have March, by July, August, September, October, November, December, you're going to close at least 6 transactions. You're going to make between, depending on what state you're in, between $20,000 to $100,000. Okay. So the lead sources alone are going to make you the money. The letter, you don't have to recreate it. We'll give it to you so you can start mailing it out right away, and you'll get leads to put into your system. And if you are using a coach, and if you need to drop them, we give you the accountability program, which tracks you daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. It averages you out to show you what you've done. And then if you don't have one, we give you the CRM so you don't lose clients anymore, and the scripts that go with it. And it's optional. We also are available twice this morning. We just had a class. We had a full class this morning where you are able to ask me the questions and I answer every single one of them. And every Tuesday we cover everything we do. You can see all this on video. Okay, it's all recorded, and you can also come on live and ask questions so you know how it's going to work. So our package is all plug and play. We give you the listing appointment, you put your picture in, you're ready to go. We give you the net sheet, you're ready to go. We give you our open house system, our signs, how they're doing. You plug in your name, you're ready to go. So this system, it's $997, okay? In 3 months, you're gonna get your first check. And then optional, hang out with me, with our community, me and Ingrid and the rest of us, right? Every Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock, and on Thursdays at 10, we go over and answer your questions. All right. So in the end, I really hope that this was really helpful. There, you Google my name right now, Angel and Patty Hernandez, type in Zillow, and you'll see that I have, actually, how many do we have right now, Ingrid? I think it's 26, isn't it?
Listing?
Yeah, that number just keeps piling up.
I think
Right?
we're going live this week, but I don't think they're up yet.
So here's what I'm going to say, guys, ladies and gentlemen, join our community, become a dominant agent in your area. Join us every morning, 9 a.m. Pacific time, right? And we're going to become listing agents dominant in our area. Ingrid?
Yeah, absolutely. You guys are welcome to go ahead and scan the QR code. I also put the link to make it easier in the chat box. That will give you access to that Excel sheet that you guys were asking about with all of the tabs that he showed. So it'll be the net sheet, it'll be the exempt for the taxes, it'll be how to calculate for their up leg, for their downsize, what the mortgage would be for somebody purchasing right now, somebody purchasing 2 years ago. It literally gives you all of it. You don't have to recreate it. It's all already there, and it's cheaper than a trip to Cabo. And then and monthly, it's $99 a month. $99 monthly.
They can go to Dubai with that extra money. Chicago is going to be that's less expensive. Dubai.
All right. Do you guys have any additional questions for us? I know that we answered a lot, but I'm sure you guys may have some more. We want to make sure to get to all of them before we leave. Thank you, Victor. Victor just submitted an offer to one of our properties. We'll do our best to accept it. We'll definitely present it. Thank you so much, Victor, and everybody else for joining us. Again, that link is in the chat for you guys to be able to purchase, and go ahead and scan the QR code if that's easier for you guys as well. Thank you so much for joining us, and we do hope to see you guys next week on Tuesday at 9 a.m. for our exclusive coaching calls. We will see you next week.